Hello. Hello.
Yo,
Hello.
y'all can hear me?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on, man? Been wrapping up this game.
All right. Are you good to we good to go?
Yeah, I can talk.
Okay. I've got it just I'm trying to set up everything first, but
Be my guest, man. I got 3 minutes left. As soon as I get the ball back, try and run
okay.
it down. Oh, let's go, Pitt. Oh, take it back for 6. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Oh, you can't do it. I hate you.
And we are live here for the Redskins and the Eagles for the XCFL. Here with me today is Coach Boone. Coach Boone, how are you doing today, buddy?
Doing outstanding, man. I'm ready for football. I just got off the field myself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was excited once I found out we were going to be doing the broadcasting for this game. The 6-4 Redskins versus the 7-3 Eagles. We're in Philadelphia today, obviously. This is a huge game for both teams. Would you agree?
A big game. I think it's definitely a big game. Given the magnitude of that Redskins-Eagles rivalry and what it means to both those cities, it's definitely something that, you get up out of bed in the morning and realize it's one of those games that you got to pick up your hard hat for.
Absolutely, and another big thing about this is both teams are coming in placing second and third in that division, looking for the playoffs. So let's, without further ado, let's kind of talk about the playoffs here. If you look at the screen here, we've obviously got the Dallas Cowboys at 7-3 holding that 4 spot, but then when we look at the wild card, it's a little bit more clutter. We got the Eagles at 7-3 holding that 5th spot. But then, if you look, we've got 3 6-4 teams right now. It's very cluttered for that, for both positions. This is going to be a huge game for both teams. But if you have to think, because the Eagles did win earlier, if they win this game, they've almost got one of those wild cards, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I definitely think they'll be in a strong position, whoever takes this game, to get a leg up on the competition, being the other, player the other team that you're playing is your main competition. But it's definitely a tough race out there in the NFC, man. You can't ever count Eric V out. He's always around it, at least. So you definitely got a tough road ahead of you.
Yeah, and if you look at the schedules, neither one of these teams have that easy of a schedule. But that's what makes this game so intriguing, because it's almost like, if the Redskins lose this game, their playoff hopes could be done, because this means that they would have lost to the Eagles twice. And if the Eagles loses, that puts, Tampa Bay wins and the Cardinals win, that could put 4 teams at 7-4 and make things even crazier. So, yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a crazy situation here. And kind of looking at the teams, where they stand on offense and defense, one thing that sticks out to me is you're looking at one of the best offenses when it comes to Jack with the Redskins. He has them going first in total offense, 6th in total points. Everything's going right for this offense. And you look on the other side, the Eagles lead in sacks, and they're actually the second best defense with only allowing 200 yards per game.
Yeah, they're definitely, big time. You have Jack, who's just a big time offense. He's really, found himself in the passing game this year. And I take my hat off to him, because Triplett is a hell of a quarterback. And, he's typically a running coach. That's what he's always been known for. And this year he seems to have found his niche in the all-around game. And the defense is always going to be there. But the Eagles, they've had a little bit of struggle at quarterback. Even though they have Aaron Rodgers, it doesn't seem to be the answer for them. But they do have an amazing threat in that Gordon Todd kid. So there's a lot to look at here. Both have outstanding defenses, so it's really going to be an interesting game.
Yeah, both do have great defenses. And if you notice, the Redskins actually did trade for Darius Slay. That actually puts 3 quarterbacks in that defense over 90. So the Eagles, with their turnover problems and with Jack acquiring that cornerback, one has to think that, obviously the Redskins have the edge, even though their record doesn't, they're 1 game down and, they got beat by Philadelphia earlier. But don't count out the Eagles. If they can get their running game going, if they can limit the turnovers and just unleash havoc with their defensive front, they have a chance in this game. And I don't discount, either one of these, but let's, with that said, let's go ahead and take a look. For me, the first matchup I want to look at is Josh Dotson. Josh Dotson, if you remember in the offseason, Jack paid him $30 million a year, which is the big story in offseason, right? You don't pay that much to a wide receiver, and it's really going to screw up teams that actually franchise tag their wide receivers, but there's a reason why he paid. Look at this: 10 games played, 38 receptions, but 844 yards and 11 touchdowns. This guy's averaging 22 yards every time the ball is in his hands. You have to look at him if you're Jack, right?
I mean, definitely. It's amazing to see that you could pay that much to a receiver. That's incredible. I remember when I first found out about that on live air on one of our broadcasts. That is just jaw-dropping that you would pay that much to a receiver who's, quite frankly, not that good. I don't care. I'm going to say it. He's not that good. But, he's got a decent season going on here. He's not DeAndre Hopkins or, that kid Dixon Bishop from Detroit. But, he's definitely a matchup to watch because he's a threat physically. He's very imposing on the line, and it's hard to jam him. So you definitely look for him to make some big plays like that.
Yeah, and you said it. I like how you pointed that out. He's going to be making quick reads of this guy. He knows that Philadelphia leads the league with 57 sacks total for a team. Obviously, Kevin Bassey leading the front. The Eagles went out and they traded up to the first overall pick a couple seasons ago and got him. So obviously it's paid dividends. But yeah, he's got to have Dotson, in my opinion, to get those short routes, to streak them. If he's going to play aggressive defense against the Redskins, Jack has got to make some adjustments to be able to get Dotson the ball because the cornerbacks, I think, are a little questionable in Philadelphia.
Yeah, most certainly. Triplett is, going to make the reads. He's going to make the plays. He's one of those quarterbacks who's had an outstanding career thus far. He's got the arm power to do what he needs to do. He's not the most mobile, but he's just an intelligent quarterback, and he does anything, He's a prototypical quarterback. I would love to have Triplett for a season and just get a feel for him. So I definitely look for him to lead. He's probably going to have maybe 200 or 300 yards this game. But I know last time they faced each other, he had 3 interceptions. So I definitely think he's going to, take a little bit more care of the ball this time.
Yeah, and he's going to make some adjustments after seeing what the front seven could do in Philadelphia. But yeah, you brought up a good point. He's actually leading the league in yards right now and in quarterback rating. So he's been pretty efficient since that bad game that he had. So it will be very interesting to see what type of adjustments he makes. He also has a really fast running back and Marshall. Marshall is just, one of the best running backs in the league. One has to think that he's going to get some of those tosses, sweeps, some of those outside runs and see if he can catch Philadelphia, kind of off balance there. So kind of with that said, I want to look on the other side of the ball. At the same position, let's look at Gordon Todd. Almost exactly the same stats, too. 10 games, 34 receptions, 800 yards, only 9 touchdowns. But he's averaging 23 yards per reception. So, yeah, you're looking at 2 wide receivers that are almost identical in stats and identical in stature. They're both tall tall wide receivers, that prototypical, that can catch the ball and, make a play afterwards. But, the problem with the Philadelphia has not been Todd. It's been Aaron Rodgers getting him the ball and making these boneheaded interceptions. One has to think this could be Rodgers' decline. He could be out here in the next couple years of the XCFL.
Definitely. I'm definitely a big fan of quarterbacks, and as you watch his career since he's been in the XCFL, his first year he put up 27 and 18. And ever since then, he's never seen over 20 touchdowns, which leads you to believe he has to be on the decline. He's never come close to a 90 QB rating, and he's been on the decline ever since. This year, he has 18 touchdowns and 23 interceptions. And I believe, like it was said, we heard the GM speaking earlier, or quoted on Twitter earlier, saying that he could pay a college quarterback peanuts to come out and do exactly what Aaron Rodgers is doing. So you honestly have to wonder if this is maybe the last time you see him in the XCFL, despite the fact that he has all the tools and the ability to be a leader. He can't seem to put it on the field anymore. So with that being said, the fact that Gordon Todd has put up 800 yards and 9 touchdowns in just about 3/4 of the season is pretty astonishing. Like he has
Absolutely.
No real quarterback throwing his way. There's no respectable run game in Philly. Their leading running back might have 500 yards, if that, and 3 touchdowns. So he's really their only threat. So for the most part, besides him and Jakeem Grant, and Jakeem Grant is one of those little guys, so I'm not really worried about him. If you shut down Todd, you shut down this offense. That's going to be the premier matchup.
Oh, I absolutely agree, especially with having those 3 cornerbacks that are just speedy. I actually think that he's probably going to try to double team him and at the very least spotlight the receiver. It sounds like they're going down to the field. So kind of to kind of end this, what's your prediction, Boone? You're really good about kind of picking who you think is going to win. Who do you think is going to win and how? What do you think is going to be the key to this game?
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and honestly, I'm gonna throw a curveball out there. I'm not even everything in me tells me go with the Redskins, but I'm going with the Eagles. I just think they have a little momentum. I think they have figured something out, and it's on the defensive side of the ball. It's not going to be an offensive game for them, but if their offense can produce any points, I see the Eagles winning this one, and I'm assuming it's going to be around 24-17.
24-17, and that very well could happen. I personally think I just have to go with the Redskins. I think that they've really caught fire lately, and I just think they got too many things working for them. I think that it's really going to be a offensive game here. I think that Jack's going to make the right adjustments that will help them out in the end. It just, to me, I don't see how they're going to lose. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and take it down there. We are going to go ahead and get started here. The kickoff is actually going to the Redskins. They elect to get the ball first, so let's see how this plays out here. Looks like there's a little bit of wind, about 9 miles per hour. Looks like Jack's going to be able to return this. We're getting a little bit of feedback here. He gets about to the 27-yard line.
And you know how I feel about those kick returns. I'm dead set against them. They're such a waste of time. You see, he's barely got above the 25-yard line. So,
Yeah, he barely got the 27-yard line, and it looks like Jack's coming out in all white. I like these uniforms. I mean, kind of going away from the game here a little bit. I love the old style helmets and everything. So,
oh, absolutely, I love these Redskins uniforms with the arrowhead.
Absolutely, yeah. So it looks like he's coming out in 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver set. Running back gets about 3 yards on the carry here.
And that's just him. He likes to establish the run. So you definitely look for that to continue.
Okay, so it looks like, I said, there a little bit of, I don't know if it's the quality or what, but it looks like we're getting a little bit of lag here.
Just a touch.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with the Redskins, you have what looks to be a potent offense, but it seems like they're really reluctant to give you everything on that first drive. Most people come out pretty timid on that first drive, and it seems like that's what they're doing with back-to-back run plays.
Yeah, and it looks like they didn't get anything on that one. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 7. You want to see Marshall get a little bit more than that, but again, looking at that front 7, they're not going anywhere. I think Jack wants to run the ball. He's going to have to do it to the outside.
Yeah, for sure. That's just what it's going to have to be. And you got to wonder when Triplett steps into the game and really does what he needs to do.
It's 3rd and 7. Oh, he's going to run the ball again. Wow, that's kind of ballsy, but I like it. He didn't get it. He only got 1 yard on the carry. Looks like Philadelphia is coming out aggressive with the blitz. They're going to force a punt, 4-6 on the 31.
Yeah, the Redskins are playing pretty timid right now, but I mean, I guess they kind of want to see what Philly has. What a big punt. Too bad it goes just in the end zone.
Oh, looks like they're going to start at the 20. Kind of be interesting to see how the Eagles play this. If I'm, if I don't know about you, but if I'm coach for the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm going to try to be a little bit conservative here. I think Jack's trying to be conservative because I think he's trying to kind of see if he, he's going to let his defense make the mistake here, or he's going to let the offense of Philadelphia make the mistake. So while we're pausing the game here, I think Jack's going to try to stream. We're going to try to switch this up a little bit. Kind of tell me what you think the Eagles need to do here on their offensive possession.
Well, honestly, I think they need to follow the Redskins' path so far. I know what Jack was thinking. Last game, they threw 6 interceptions between the both of them, so you really can't blame him for taking it, cautious as he starts up the field. And that's kind of what the Eagles need to do as well. Just take your time because they both threw 3 picks. Take your time, establish what you can, take what the defense gives you. Don't really try to force it yet because both of these are really, big play defenses.
They are, and I actually like the way that the Redskins came out. It shows a lot of positivity for, what they know they can do on defense. So it's going to be interesting to see what Philadelphia chooses to do here as they come out in the I formation, 1st and 10. give the ball to Anube, and he doesn't go anywhere. He gets 1 yard on that possession.
Yeah, that's one of those little backs that just kind of is going to get you a little bit of yards. Like I said, they don't have much run game to speak of, so it's honestly kind of just a formality at this point.
I think so too. I think it's kind of get things going here. 2nd and 9. If I'm the Eagles, I'm not going to go away from that run game. I'm definitely going to rely on that all game, but it'd be interesting to see if the Eagles, if they're going to go aggressively here.
I think that the Eagles, like I said, you just got to take your time. Rodgers is not having a good year, so you really can't try and force too much for him.
And then this being a big game as well. So they do come out in shotgun. They do decide to pass. Gets it over to the middle to Grant. Grant gets smacked, but he does pick up the first down. Very good pass play there. What's your thoughts on that?
You know how I feel about these little receivers. They're useless. He's going to get hurt. He's like 176 pounds soaking wet with bricks in his pocket. He doesn't belong on a football field. I'm sorry. He just doesn't.
Looks like 1st and 10. And Anube gets, I think that's Anube. He gets a huge kick. Yeah, it is. A huge carry on that one. Does a spin move. Gets a first down. And puts him on the 37 of Washington there. Huge play. They are sticking with the run game.
Yeah, that was actually a really nice move, man. That was a really nice move, man. That kid's got some shifty moves, and he's trying to prove something. He must be listening to us.
Yeah, it sounds like it or something. So we may have to go away for a second while we load up the other stream here because this one's a little bit choppier. So we are going to.
Got to play action, run out to the left-hand side, and he's brought down for a big sack. Barnett, man, and I never got to properly thank Jack for that trade where he gave me Batiste, who just recently had 3 sacks and now is sitting at 16 on this year.
Yeah, that's it's kind of crazy here. So he does get the ball. So hold on with us while we go through this here. It looks like I don't know how to get this to where it says mature audiences. He's got a setting on there that's not really working. So bear with us here. As I get this fixed, if you wouldn't mind kind of taking the gameplay from me here. I
got you. While we're in the dark here, we got 3rd and 17 for the Philadelphia Eagles on their 44-yard line going in. The Redskins have seemed to be pretty aggressive, and it's kind of bitten them a little bit, giving up a couple big plays. But 3rd and 17, just trying to keep them out of field goal range. And you got to wonder, are the Eagles going to try and just stay in field goal range? They come out 5 wide. Rodgers in the shotgun formation. And we get a timeout from the Redskins. Redskins clearly didn't like what they were looking at there. Want to take a second to think about it. It's a pretty big play here because this could be the difference between you catching a punt, giving up 3, or giving up 7.
Absolutely.
You got to wonder just who on the Redskins defense is looking forward to this competition the most. He's got those corners that are just locked down 1 through 3. So you got to wonder, is there a little bit of competition on Gordon Tide? Who wants to guard Jakeem Grant? Because I know Jakeem Grant is a Blazer. And we're back out here. Aaron Rodgers lines up 5 wide again. He drops back, has all day to throw, reads the field, and he gets Jakeem Grant coming over the middle, breaks a tackle, and he's down to the 30-yard line. It's going to be 4th down and 3. They're in field goal range, however, so you can't be too mad at the outcome. And you just have a big stop for the Redskins, at least holding to stop the touchdown. We're going to get the field goal crew out here. I can't imagine them trying a fake this early in the game, although I would be a little weary about it. Anumbi has been a pretty solid force as the Eagles shank a field goal. Wow. It's going to be Redskins ball, 1st and 10 on their own 37-yard line. That's really good field position. And it seems like some things are going the Redskins' way, and let's see if they can produce a little bit more on the offensive end after that pedestrian first possession. I think Triplett's going to come out here and possibly a 3-receiver set. Just give him something to make him think pass, but still run it up the middle. That would probably be the best option here. He's going to come out with An I formation, tight end off to the right-hand side, 2 receivers on the left. Reads the play at the line, hikes the ball, has got a handoff to the left-hand side, and he gets stopped for what looks to be virtually no gain. Loss of 1 on the play. 2nd and 11, they're on 36-yard line. The Redskins are staying persistent with this run game. It's truly something to see here. You would think this high-flying offense would come out with big plays. He's going to come out with the running back off to his right-hand side, tripling the shotgun, tight end right-hand side of the line, 3 receivers to the left. He drops back, and he gets hit up the middle. Big sack by none other than Basie. What a big play. And we always say big players show up in big times, and this is one of those times.
Yeah, Basie is definitely a good pick there.
Shotgun formation, 3 receivers off to the left-hand side again. 3rd and 19 on their own 28-yard line. He's reading the play at the line, making his calls at the line. Audibles, drop back. He's got a tight end over the right-hand side who runs over the safety, and he's down for first down, 49-yard line. Washington Redskins are moving the football. Got our first pass and our first big play. That's going to go for a gain of 23 yards for Triplett, and he's gotten his day off to a good start. It looks like we got a bit of a timeout here. I got to ask you, though, who do you think is going to be the X factor for the Washington Redskins today?
I still think it's going to be Dotson. Dotson is that guy that can make things happen. So it'd be interesting to see if Dotson's going to be able to, kind of take the reins here. I think that if he's going to get the running game going, it's going to have to be like we talked about, those outside runs. Thanks for bearing with us here. We're kind of waiting for the game to start. We had a little bit of technical difficulty, but seems like we're back up and running. But again, it's going to be Triplett. Triplett's going to have to make these quick reads to he's not going to have a lot of time. He's just not going to. So it's going to be really up to him to if they win. I think they're really going to have to ride the back on him.
Yeah, I definitely think so as well. But you know what? It seems like the way this game is going, they're absolutely determined to watch Keith Marshall get his start on today and try and dominate this game. And I mean, with good reason. You dominate the run game. You dominate the clock. You keep the ball, away from the other offense.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now it's just kind of a slow game. Both teams kind of feeling each other out. I mean, we're towards the end of the first half. I mean, they are on the move here, but it's going to be interesting to see if the Redskins at least can come out with some points here.
Yeah, Triplett's going to drop back, play action, take his time, reads the field, and he's got his receiver over the middle and down to the 23-yard line.
Oh, that was a good pass here. And then, if you notice that, the slot guy was just able to kind of break away from that. Those defenders get wide open. And one thing I was surprised of, he had a bunch of time. There was no pressure on him.
Yeah, Basie had a sack, and other than that, he hasn't been much of a force, As Triplett's going to come out in the offset eye, he's going to take his time, hand the ball off to Marshall, and he's going to get no gain up to the 24-yard line. That's a loss of 1. That's a big stop for the Eagles defense.
Yeah, I think your stream is a little bit ahead of where we're at here. So I do see the play, though. It looks like that is going to probably run out the first half here, or first quarter here. 0-0. I mean, at the end of the first quarter, if I said, hey, Boone, it's going to be 0-0, what would you have thought?
I wouldn't be surprised. Both of these defenses, I believe, are top 10 in the league. Very respected defenses. Come up with a lot of turnovers and definitely know how to get after the quarterback. So when you can manage those two, that pretty much keeps it as a defensive game. I in no way believe this is going to be a 40-point game by any stretch.
Yeah, me either. I mean, I kind of knew that we're going to have some decent defenses, and Jack's defense, in all fairness, his defense is a lot better than what these stats say. I mean, he's got a great defense. I played against him, and he took me right to the end of the game. And one of the big things for Jack was his defense. So it looks like they're going to come out into a tight end set, double tight end set there. Again, we're having a little bit of technical difficulty.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think that Jack's defense has always been solid, and I mean, the people in the chat are speaking, and they seem to believe it's going to be a tight game. Redskins 24, Eagles 17, as we see from Nick Larson, and we got a touchdown from the Redskins. It's a big play.
Yeah, that's huge, and that's going to put them on the board, and it's going to put a little bit of pressure on the Philadelphia Eagles here to match that. They definitely don't want to get behind the block on that. They want to keep this running game going, and in order to do that, you're not going to be able to get down by multiple scores. So Philadelphia, it's important to at least put up some points on this drive, if not 7, at least 3.
Yeah, most definitely. As we got the kickoff, Big Al chimes in with a 28-14 prediction with the Skins win. It doesn't seem like many people believe in Grizzly over here, so it's a little interesting.
Yeah, and I talked to John earlier, and he didn't even really believe in himself. I think maybe he was a lot of that was blowing smoke, but yeah, one has to think. I mean, the Eagles are 7-3 for a reason. I've watched them play; they're very good. They're very technical. However, the one glaring problem that they have is this passing game. So we'll have to see if he can kind of get it going. And on that one, they get sacked. Huge sack for the Redskins. That was wide open, right up the middle. Looks like they took the blitz and went right up the middle on that one. Yeah,
definitely. And you know what? I apologize, chat. I forgot to take my shot. We said before the game.
That's right now.
Every touchdown. So let me go ahead and grab my bottle. It's only right. It's only right here at the XCFL that we do.
That's right.
Big things.
Shot for shot, man.
All right. Let me go ahead and crack this amazing bottle. I don't know what you're drinking over there, but I do have a bottle of
Crown Royal
Mediterranean vodka.
Ooh, that just sounds like it stings.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out. I know that much.
Ooh, almost throws an interception there. Throws right into coverage. One has to wonder, it doesn't seem like he has a lot of patience. Aaron Rodgers is really frazzled back in the pocket. It looks like he just forced that throw completely, and it puts him in a really bad possession here. 3rd and 17. It looks like they're coming out in 5 wide, though.
Yeah, the Eagles are definitely going to try and make a big play here, and I can tell you right now, this does not smell pleasant. Oh, my goodness. All right. Bottoms up.
Oh, bottoms up. There you go. Looks like we have a little bit more lag here.
That's something right there.
There you go. Oh, intercepted. Redskins return it. Looks like you're going to have to do another shot on that one. 14-0.
Right. Look here, Jack. I'm going to need you to slow down. All right. This is going a little too quick for me.
He's going to get us both passed out drunk by the end of this broadcast. He keeps going.
You know, Jack, it's okay to bat the ball down. You can play it. All right. Cheers.
All right. Here we go. 14-0. Does this, this has got to be something you got to think if you're the Eagles. 14-0. You've got to come up with something. What do you do if you're him?
Take your time. If I had to give Grizzly any advice, my best advice would be don't let this moment and the momentum throw you off your game plan. There's a whole lot of football left. There's a whole 3 quarters. You do not have to rush anything. You don't have to press. Just take your time and run your offense and have faith in your defense because your defense is top 10 for a reason.
Absolutely, and I couldn't agree more. With someone that has a great defense like myself, even if I go down, even multiple scores, like 3 scores, I am never pressing downfield. I am always making sure that I keep my running game in because once they know that I'm just going to sling it, it's over for me. I'm not good at passers, a lot of you guys, especially you, but it looks like they do get the first down here all the way up to the 40. Someone is hurt, but importantly, they are moving the ball and moving the chains.
And we got Penny in the chat. His prediction is Washington 27, Philly 22. Man, I believe in you, Grizzly. All right, I believe in you. Don't listen to them. Don't believe what they say about you. I like you. I have to believe that that Grizzly's going to take his time, read the defense, and take what they give him. That's what Jack is going to do.
Yeah, I believe so.
I feel like
I
got a zone here. It's got to be a zone. A run to a Noonby? Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, I think it's a newbie. We will not be able to pronounce this by the end of this stream, but
no, not in the least bit. But he hands it off to him, and he's had a decent amount of success with him today off his first 2 carries. So you have to understand the logic behind it. We're gonna look for Rodgers. I can't believe that he's completely done. There has to be something left in that arm. And I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
there has
honest,
to
if
be.
he lets him go, he can come play for me any day of the week.
Yeah, I mean, a guy like Aaron Rodgers, you don't just drop or let him go. I think a lot of that is probably cap space and him not being a pass first guy, but still, for second down 11, nice little pass. It wasn't a lot, about 6 yards, but I like it. Right, it gets you a third and short situation. Does kind of help out moving the ball there. What's your thoughts on that play?
Yeah, that's a good play. Like I said, take what the defense gives you. Don't force anything. You don't have to go the big play downfield. And if you look at that play call, he had two receivers going deep, and then a third going nice mid range, little out route, little flag route. And it's tempting to go for the big play. Not many people look at that underneath route.
That is true. A lot of guys, especially Jack, probably thinking, okay, he's down 14, he's going to go over the middle and over the top. But yeah, if you keep it underneath, and right now it's just about getting a score. Shotgun. It looks like they are still going with the pass, and he is sacked. He is dropped on his back, and this going to put him then a fourth and 13. They are going to be forced to punt. Troy Polamalu clone here is going to be punting for him.
I see you. I see. And you know who got that sack? That was Derek Barnett, the once Eagle.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy doing a trade like that within your division. He probably wishes he didn't do that.
I would never.
No,
to get it, never have Batiste.
No. I think NFC South has a pact that we don't trade within our division. Well, I actually have with the Panthers, but I know the Bucks and the Saints have a no trade within division clause. So looks like we are going to pause here. We're going to try to get another stream up here, and hopefully we can get things going.
All right. Well, in the meantime, I could definitely say so far my standout has been not just the running back Anumbi, who's made some pretty decent plays. Triplet was there, a little bit of Jakeem Grant, and then that defense for the Redskins coming up with the touchdown early. Give it free points. Always welcome. Always welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to look at it. The one thing I look at when I look at this defense, they are putting, the pass rush onto him, and he's not getting any time to do anything. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see if he can kind of get back from that. It looks like the Eagles are coming out in a blitz mode here. Gets it to Marshall. Marshall gets past the first guy, but he does not get past the second one. He only gets a 3-yard carry on that.
Yeah, and you definitely saw the window and the option for a bigger play. And, just takes that one broken tackle to really make the big difference.
Absolutely. So it'd be interesting to see if they just keep it on the ground or if Jack's going to go for the throat here.
I don't see many people in this league who really go for the throat like that. That doesn't seem to be the MO of a lot of people here. A lot of people want to play it safe, and I mean, it helps you sometimes, and it also hurts you.
It does. 2nd and 7, and it's incomplete pass. Good coverage here by the Eagles. Puts them in a 3rd down and 7 situation. Looks like it's not going to deter the Redskins from passing. So kind of interesting to see what he does here with Triplet.
I mean, I would call a slant and then have some sort of bailout route for me, whether it be an out route or something. Maybe a hitch.
It looks like exactly what they did. They got with the out route. Blair Triplet picks up the first down. He is 4 for 5 for 91 yards. Great pass play there. Eagles could not get enough pressure on this quarterback to get them 4 or 3 and out. So they will get to pick up the first down, and they will be on the move.
I can't help but notice the amount of players in single digits who are not quarterbacks or punters. That's amazing. This trend that's going on in the NFL.
Play action. Blair Triplet out to his tight end. He loves his tight end. His tight end is leading the league in tight ends and receptions. Out to Bucky Hodges. Bucky Rogers, I think, is one of the Marvel characters. Bucky Hodges gets about 6 yards on that, so they are going to be 2nd and 4 coming out in trips here.
For sure, and I think we're a little bit ahead of the live stream.
As we are. I'm looking at
Triplets coming out in a single back. It looks like he's got 2 tight ends out, spread out. Hands the ball off up the middle. It doesn't really get much of a gain there. Keith Marshall has not had a lot of room despite the massive amount of carries he's gotten so far.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like they are going to come out 3rd and 1. So it looks like they're going to come out in 3 wide receiver set here. Very interesting.
There you go. I like it. like it. Beautiful. You see, I think that Grizzly was playing a little too timid. Receivers, the cornerbacks were a little far back, giving way too much respect to Doxson. Like I said before the game, he's not a good receiver. You just have to get up in his chest. I get he's physical, but you have to get up in his chest and really impose your will on him.
If it's me, I'm putting the safety. I'm double teaming him. I'm not scared of any of these other guys but him. I am highlighting him, and I am putting my best cornerback on him and probably my best safety. Looks like shotgun formation here, and he gets a Marshall. Marshall gets it up to about the 33-yard line.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the same approach. Anybody but Doxson is beating me. You can have anyone. Marshall, I don't care. It's not going to be Doxson. It's similar to the same approach you kind of need to take with the Jaguars, where it's anybody but Fournette. I mean, it never really works out for most people. Or it didn't work out for me.
Yeah, I do apologize here. We're still getting a little bit of lag on the stream. I'm going to try to figure this out. If you could take over for play-by-play here, I'm going to
I got you. We can go radio mode. I got this.
There we go.
So we have the Redskins, 3rd and 6 on the 37, heading towards that promised land of a touchdown. The Philly crowd has been pretty rowdy today. They haven't had a lot of cheers for it, so I got to give them credit. You're looking for a decent play here, and at the end of the day, you want something underneath, maybe a drag route to try and make sure that you stay within that field goal range and make it a little easier on your kicker. I'm definitely personally hoping they don't score a touchdown because I don't want to take another shot. But if they do, I'm more than willing to. So
yeah, exactly.
We're going to come out in a 3-receiver set, tight end off to the right-hand side of the line. Keith Marshall on the right-hand side, shotgun. Triplet gets back, throws outside, and overthrows the receiver. He's 6 for 8 on the day for 101 yards. He's been pretty on target for the most part. Didn't have a lot of options. Probably could have went underneath on that one and gotten the first down. They're just going to have to set on. We got a blocked field goal. That's going to put the Eagles with the ball on their own 44-yard line. I mean, that's great field position. Special team coach has to be happy with that performance from his guys down there making a play. I know the offense has been struggling. This is where, you have your other phases of the game, pick up your offense and start to rally. So with 1:15 left, you definitely can look to see maybe some aggression coming out here. He's going to come out with 3 receivers off to the left-hand side, 1 off to the right. He's going to hand the ball off up the middle, and the big man in the middle making the stop and saving what could have been a big run up the middle. Dickerson shedding the block and really making the arm tackle. He's going to run hurry up. Drops back. Aaron Rodgers over the left-hand side and nearly picked off by the safety. Aaron Rodgers has had a rough day. He's already got a pick here, nearly through a second. 3rd and 4, 59 seconds left. You might want to take it a little easy here, big guy. No need to throw it downfield. We're looking for a nice first down here on the 50-yard line. 3rd and 4, we're going to come out. 3 receivers to the left-hand side. Looks like the same formation. Rodgers making his call at the line. He's going to drop back on the shotgun. He's got a receiver open over the middle and taken down. It's going to be a first down, Philly. 1st and 10. Move those chains. 36-yard line. They're near field goal range with 50 seconds left with 2 timeouts. You have all the time in the world. You can really orchestrate this drive any way you like. I believe that was that Taylor Gabriel? Taylor Gabriel because of the big catch for him. That was pretty interesting. All right, Jack is going to take his time here. He wants to make sure he gets his time out, get his guys some rest, and make sure he's got the right play call. You can understand why, though. This is a pivotal moment going into the half, up 14, maybe even up 21 if they get a turnover here. Rodgers going to come out, 3 receivers to the left. He's going to hand it off to the running back in the backfield who doesn't want to wait for his block, and he gets taken down by a cornerback. He's down to the 20-yard line. Big time gain. First down, Philly. They are surely moving the chains. This offense is off and running, and you got to wonder, have they found what they were looking for in this defense? Have they found the holes, the looks that they wanted at the beginning of the game? Rodgers come out, 3-receiver set. 4-receiver set, I'm sorry. 3 off to the right, drops back. Has all the time in the world and gets taken down for a sack. We're going to come out. Philly is just 2nd and 18. 29 line going in. 21 seconds. 3 receivers off to the left-hand side. 1 off to the right. Rodgers in the shotgun. Running back off to his right-hand side. Drops back. He's got a receiver over the middle, and he catches it. He's down for what looks to be a first down. They're going to have to measure the chains. Might want to call time out here as the clock keeps ticking. Clock is still ticking. You got to wonder, what are the Eagles doing? They're giving up chances at the end zone. 4, 3, and it's a timeout for Philly. You got to wonder what's wrong with the clock management here. Aaron Rodgers is the veteran MVP caliber quarterback. How does he not recognize he just let 8 seconds tick off the clock here? So Philly's going to be on the 10-yard line going in. It's a 1st and goal. 3 seconds left. They're going to take what looks like a shot at the end zone here. It's got to be a quick pass, or else you're pretty much just punting on the entire first half. You could possibly get 3 points here. He drops back in the shotgun, reads the defense, has the time, throws underneath. There's not going to be a first down, touchdown. There's nothing. They're going to get nothing from this possession. Wow. Talk about dropping the ball there. They're going to go into half down 14 with a chance of 3 points. Mismanagement at the end of the half is going to leave them with no points. They do get the ball back, however. But, you know, even if they score a touchdown here, what could have been at least 10 points is now going to be possibly none if they don't score. As we're going to get a decent return, maybe down to the 23-yard line. The Eagles had a drive where they seemed to be gaining a lot of momentum. And, you know, you just gotta think that they found something that they liked. Maybe it continues, keep the momentum rolling. Everything seems to be in their favor. They are the home team, so momentum's gonna stay with them a lot longer. Even after the half. Rodgers gonna come out, 3 receivers off to the left, 1 off to the right, running back in his right hand side, shotgun, drops back, has a receiver over the middle. And that middle linebacker is definitely getting some work over the middle. As he's made a couple tackles, had a couple plays right in front of him, and it seems like they really want to pick on that user middle linebacker. The Eagles have been pretty consistent as of late, making the right plays. And the Eagles are going to come out. Looks to be a single back. Receivers off to the right and left. Tight end off to the right and left. He's going to hand it off to the left-hand side, up the middle. He fights forward, possibly getting a yard short. 3rd and 1 on their own 33-yard line. Philly has been a solid offense so far. But hats off to Jack and that defense. That defense is not really trying to give up a lot. A lot of tough plays that has to be made, some perfect throws. So they're not giving up the game by any means. They're going to come out in a 3-receiver set. Aaron Rodgers is reading, drops back, has time, reads, receiver off to the right-hand side, and that's a nice play. All right, and the Redskins are, they're keeping everything in front of them, and you got to wonder what's it going to take to make that eventual stop that you need. Looks like the Redskins are coming out pretty aggressive here. And wow, what a big play up the middle. Looks like we got a sack on Aaron Rodgers. And it's been like that all day. They've been making the plays that need to be made. Nothing too aggressive besides that pick. And Aaron Rodgers has not really been in the zone. We're going to come out in what looks to be an I formation. Tight end off to the left-hand side. Looks to be a 3-4 from the defense. He's going to hand it off. Got a little bit of blocking, not a lot of room. Maybe a gain of 1 yard. Oh, my Lord. What in the hell? All right, 3rd and 12 on their own 44-yard line. We're going to get Aaron Rodgers out here. This is a very common formation. 3 receivers off to the left-hand side, 1 off to the right, receiver off to his right, or running back off to his right hand. He's going to drop back. He had a wide-open receiver underneath, but big-time play by what looks to be Gordon Todd, and I believe that's his first appearance for us.
I am back, and yes, that is his first appearance. We're going to have to stick with this stream, it looks like, because Redskins has it set up for mature audiences. So we're going to have to go with this one here. It looks like they are in the trips here. Anube up the middle, gets about 3 yards. Sorry about that. So here we go.
I've never been so happy to hear that you're back.
2nd and 7. Looks like we might be doing a shot here in a second.
Oh, Lord. I'm ready. All right.
Me too.
Man, it has been a rough drive for the Redskins defense, a long drive at that. Coming out of half, been on the field for what looks to be nearly 4 minutes.
Yeah, they're going to have to come away with a touchdown, I think, on this one. Especially being down 14-0, wasting all this clock. It looks like they do drag. Oh, it looks like he did. He's close. Looks like he's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 situation on that one. Burton with the reception.
Didn't quite get it. Definitely wish he had a little bit of fight there.
Yeah, it looks like Burton will try to extend for that first down, but he wasn't able to make it. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 2. They're going to come out with 2 tight ends and a shotgun, offset back there. And wide receiver in motion. He gets it to the wide receiver, Todd. Todd is huge, coming up big with that reception. Any other wide receiver, they're dropping that, but Todd comes up with the reception. 2 big receptions by him. It's going to be 1st and goal at the 1. It looks like they probably, unless something crazy happens, they should be able to punch it up the middle here.
Yeah, I definitely could have used him in my game against the Broncos. Don't know if you saw that. Receiver dropped that pass right on the goal line. Yeah. Not feeling too hot about that. Looks to be a very open defense. Oh, wow.
They come out the blitz up the middle. He actually loses yards on that one. Very kind of a dumb play. I don't know why they didn't go with the goal line on that one. 2nd and goal. Are you going to pass the ball, or are you going to stick with the run?
Passing.
You know Jack's going to Jack's going to blitz on this one.
Oh, tight end over the middle, over top right now. Oh, you don't have it. Give you the receiver, post route.
Gets it down to the 1 yard line again. Gets about what he lost on the last play. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and goal. So let's play devil's advocate here. It's 3rd, so it's 4th and goal. They don't pick it up at the 1. Do you go for it? I mean, obviously, I think you're going to go for it. So
absolutely. I live by one rule. What would Mike Tomlin do?
Yeah, exactly. So I do apologize. It's a little lag here.
For me, this is a very simple answer on the slim reason that if you cannot get 1 yard, you don't deserve the points. I'm sorry. If my offense can't get that yard, keep the points. We don't deserve it. I
agree with you on that one. So let's see him bring up a 4th and goal at the 1, like we just spoke about. It looks like he's going to go for it. I believe in a situation with the way that Jack's been moving the ball, you almost got to, right? You almost have to be able to go for that.
Anybody with the heart would go for it.
Yep, I totally agree. 4th and goal here. So it looks like Aaron Rodgers come out in a shotgun. Over the middle to his wide receiver. He gets the touchdown. They are on the board finally. And it looks
Jakeem Grant.
Yeah, and it looks like Jack again went aggressive. This is what you call a chess match because Jack actually thought he was going to run up the middle there. Great play call by the Eagles, very ballsy. I like it, and they get on the board. They're only down 7.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers, absolutely. I forgot about that. Yeah. Woo.
Yeah. Got
all right. That. I don't know if I can afford a high-scoring game.
I'll be all right. So, we now have the Eagles who are touchdowns. Now they know we're taking shots. I don't think that's right, but it is what it is.
Oh, out route. Nice out route to the wide receiver there. Picks up the first down, and Blair Triplett goes 7 for 9 thus far, only 118 yards. More attributed to them not really having to make those passing plays, but yeah, that's a great play by Triplett.
Yeah, Triplett is an outstanding quarterback so far. I don't think he's better than Hudson Fowler, but there's a little bias there.
Looks like the Eagles are showing the blitz here, deciding if they're going to or not. Blair Triplett is able to get the ball off. Oh, no, the wide receiver drops it. I thought he caught it and fell down, but he dropped it.
You know why he dropped it? He dropped it because he has a single digit. That's why.
4 verticals.
Man's number on, you might catch the ball.
And the Eagles got really lucky on this one. They were a little bit too aggressive on that play. And, if it wasn't for that drop, he could have been gone on that one. So it's going to bring up a
number.
Yeah, so 2nd to 10, they're coming out in an ace formation here. Looks like Marshall in the backfield. Again, I do apologize about the lag.
Oh, wow.
And it's still spinning, but
there's the $100 million man.
Looks like he does drop the pass there. You can't pay a guy $30 million a year and him drop the ball like that. That is very disappointing.
You can in Washington.
Yeah, that's very disappointing, especially if you're the general managers for the Redskins watching that play.
Nick Larson seems to think he can score enough points to keep us drunk. I highly doubt that, first of all. you might average 30, 40 points, but it takes about 12 shots for I'm drunk, so I'm just going to throw it out there.
Oh, shoot. Looks like he goes for the sack, and the Philadelphia Eagles pick up the loose fumble. Huge play, and I believe that was Bessie, if I'm not mistaken.
Man, big play from the Eagles. And like I said, the source of the Eagles game is going to come from their defense. If their offense can score at all, it's a plus. They're focused on their defense. That's where their big plays come from.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a huge play. We had talked about this front 7 and how much of an impact they were going to play. This is huge if you were the Eagles, especially an Eagle fan there. So we're going to go with first down on the 29. Great field position here.
Look for Gordon Todd on the outside.
Oh, interception. It looks like the rookie safety picks off Aaron Rodgers. Nicholson, his 2nd interception of the game. Great interception. They give the ball right back. If you're the Eagles, that has to be heartbreaking to be able to give the ball back to the Redskins like that.
Now, you have to make that pre-snap read. That cornerback was off of him. It was easy to see they're in a man coverage. You throw the ball outside to Todd, and that is at least a first down, if not a touchdown, if he breaks a tackle.
Yeah, especially seeing the corner. Yeah, like you said, seeing the safety over the middle like that, that's where he's going to be covering at. So looks like first down, and it looks like he does get the ball up before the sack. So it's going to be it's going to bring up 2nd and 10. I do apologize. We're a little behind because John's shitty internet service. So,
well, look, John. I need you to go ahead and fill up that water bottle and get some more food for that hamster so he can run hard on that.
I know. And then Jack on the other side, he's only streaming for mature audiences. I don't know if he's streaming some porn or something or what, but we can't get his stream up either. So we're stuck with this VHS here. So it looks like 2nd and 10, and he does get Marshall in the backfield. Marshall, we had talked about this before the game, how big of an impact he's going to have to play. He's 11 carries for 11 yards and only 1 touchdown. This is huge. I mean, if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, you got to think that this defense is playing lights out. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, you know what? They're playing lights out, but at the same time, you got no one to let it go. If he was playing for me, his day is done. He might get 2 more carries the rest of the game.
Yeah, I know you like the way you like to pass, so absolutely. So he's in the backfield, gets the ball off to his tight end. Hodges does not get the first down, though. They are going to be forced to punt. Hodges having a pretty good game. 4 receptions for 53 yards. Not a huge game, but considering how much how little Triplett's throwing the ball, that's a decent game thus far for this tight end.
Oh, I got it. I know what that 7 is for. That's how many times he's going to let you down in this game. That's 2. Way to go, champ. Single digits. Outstanding.
So let's see what the Eagles can do in this situation. First down and 10 at their own 32 with 19 seconds left here in the third. You are watching the XCFL live on YouTube.
You know, I think I know what Jack streams for mature audiences. That was probably a preset warning, knowing that we're going to have to drink. He was trying to threaten Grizzly, saying he was going to score enough touchdowns to make us drunk. No. He thinks he's slick.
This is not good. He throws it to Slay. Oh, we're going to have to do a shot. Look at this. Slay, pick 6. We had talked about this. What is Rodgers doing? John, run the ball. What are you doing? You're going to get us drunk by the end of this game, and not in a good way for you.
Come on, man. Cheers.
21-7. Here we go. Whew. Yeah. I had a half a bottle. Now I'm down to nothing. I put my last shot in there, so let's see how well that lasts.
And I'm drinking straight out the bottle. I don't even know if these are real shots or not. God.
Yeah, I just poured it all in a cup. So anyway, the Eagles get it down to the 28-yard line. 7 seconds left in the third quarter. I mean, what do you do if you're the Eagles? I mean, you've got to run it, right? You've got to. This is just heartbreaking.
For what? Running for what?
You've
thrown 3 picks already. What are you running for?
Your last 2 passes are interceptions.
And
you
what
want
are they?
Your third one to be?
But like you said, run the ball, right? They're expecting a run. Play action over the top. Come on.
There's not going to be a play action because it looks like he's going to come out 5 wide. This is kind of crazy here, so it'll be kind of interesting to see.
Mark for Def got nothing to lose. He's got freaking.
Looks like he's going to make a couple. He's going to make a couple adjustments here. Wow, Aaron Rodgers throws another interception. 3 interceptions in a lot.
What the hell?
I think Aaron Rodgers wants us to get drunk tonight.
My God, what is this? It's a freaking setup. You've been paid.
What are you doing?
He's selling. Oh my God, you're working off commission, John. You're selling this one away.
Oh, well, here we go, man. This is
cheers.
Ow. Woo. Man, John. Maybe John was paid by Crown Royal tonight or something. I don't know, but man, 3.
You know, to hell with you, John. To hell with you.
The last 3 passes are interceptions. I mean, this is what we had talked about. I mean, you cannot do that. And honestly, it has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers. It has everything to do with decision making. I don't care who you have back there. You're throwing right into coverage. These are not bad throws. These are throws that you are expected to make, but you're making the bad ones.
Absolutely. You know what? Let's just address the clowns in the chat real quick. Penny, you were wrong. They got 28, not 27. Nick, you were wrong. That's out the window. Actually, Big Al might be right. 28-14.
Yeah, what? I don't know. I don't know what the official over/under is, but yeah, the chat is popping tonight. Al's in there, Nick's in there, Penny's in there.
I think I saw Dawson there, and a special guest, Jimmy Vollmer.
Jimmy Vollmer. I have no idea who that is.
Oh, you've never seen? Oh man, he's the star of South Park, man.
Oh,
yeah,
Jimmy.
You don't know Jimmy Vollmer, yeah.
Zachary's in here. He subscribed. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate that. I'm just going through the chat. I apologize here. Nick has to be excited. He's has the first round pick for the Eagles here.
Wow.
Now after throwing 2 pick sixes and another interception, they decide to run. Somebody needs to shake John and say, "Look, dude, stop throwing interceptions. Stop it."
Man, go ahead. What you got to lose? 27 picks on the year. It's not going to get no better from here. Just throw it.
Very disappointing by John here. He maybe it may be the primetime game or something, but Looks like he does pick up the first down.
He's got time. Receiver over the middle. Big catch.
The receiver's faking the injury, it looks like, so he can stop the clock.
Here we go. His back, he says. His back. Get your punk self up. You ain't get hurt.
That means he will be back in probably in the next 2 plays.
Hey, Grizzly. Fowl said he might be interested in playing for y'all. He might give you a shout.
Well, he could not do any worse than Rodgers is at this point. But now look at this. After 3 interceptions in a row, they have completed 2 nice throws for over 20 yards here. So it's 1st and 10. They are running no huddle. Give it to the running back.
We didn't even notice. Brad Kaya, the quarterback from Miami, is in.
I did not notice that, but
he
it looks like
now
Duke Johnson
2 for 2, and the offense is running.
It looks like Duke Johnson will be out of the game, running back there. So they'll have to stick with Anube if they decide to keep running the ball. So it's going to be 2nd and 1 at the 26. They have to score on this, right? I mean, they're down 21 at this point. I mean, there's a little glimmer of hope, but they've got to be able to get the score here. He does get sacked. Look at the Redskins on the edge.
Throw the ball.
Derek Barnett.
Throw the ball.
There's nobody happier in this game than Derek Barnett, the scorned ex-girlfriend. Sack number 3, and they are in business.
I'm telling you.
This guy, I tell you what, if he keeps this up, he is going to get the player of the game. No doubt in my mind.
He came out here and he's showing his ass today. He is having a blast.
Boone, you couldn't be more right about that. And look at that. Jack brings a pressure again, all-out blitz. And, it just looks like John has no answer for this. It doesn't matter who's at quarterback.
I don't know if you saw it. Derek Barnett was so excited to get off the ball ahead of time. He dove before he even got to the block.
Yeah, I mean, he's just – how do you trade a superstar edge rusher like that to your division rival that you're going to play twice a year? I mean, if there's – no better story than tonight. It has to be Derek Barnett. 3 sacks on his former team. Looks like they are going to be able to. They're going 5 wide. Kaya gets it to Todd for the first down. Todd having a good game.
Is he? See, you're down by 21. You only have maybe 3 or 4 catches.
Yeah, but
I can't help but notice
you've only had 3 or 4 targets. I mean, the way that I look at it, you've only had a couple. You're a superstar wide receiver. Give me the ball. Terrell Owens, give me the ball. Hold your popcorn. Give me the ball. He's not doing that. They just don't have anybody that can throw to him. Kai at 1st and 10, 22-yard line, screen, bad pass. He has come back to get the ball, but it's holding on the Eagles. Just when you think it couldn't get any worse, it does. Backs him up to 25. It's 2nd and 13.
When the hell did Luke Jokel become a freaking center?
Probably the same time that Aaron Rodgers throws 3 pick sixes.
My God, what is going on in Philadelphia? That's absurd. You have a prize left tackle at center. That makes no sense.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on right now. It's not because Jack's making me drink all these shots with these pick sixes either. So.
Oh, look at that! That's your big game player. You said he was having a big game. He freaking dropped down and fell to the ground with no.
Yeah, but he had to stretch out to make that catch. Come on, man!
This guy.
He's got to trade him to a good team. I think he's not utilizing this wide receiver.
Come on to Houston. Hold on. Hey, John. I don't know if you're listening. Dude, welcome him. I can make DeAndre Hopkins happen for you possibly.
I like the call. They don't pick up the first down. It's going to be 4th and 1, but I like it. Nice little screen. This is what you should have done from the get-go. Don't rely on 5 wide down the field. Get some screens in there. Get some stuff that's going to throw him off. He should have been doing this at the beginning of the game.
Hold on. Wait. Thanks for a touchdown. We're taking the shot. Hey, Jack, can you give me a pick? I don't need no more of this bull crap.
No, he will not get you a pick. He will get you, however, the 4th sack of the game. Derek Barnett absolutely lights out. This guy is just absolutely killing his former team. If there was anybody that wanted to pay back his former team, it is Derek Barnett. He is on fire.
Look at the strut. That
He
walk
knows
says, "I own you.
that
You
guy
let me
said,
go. Y'all are my
exactly.
bitches."
They thought we got Kevin Bassey now. We don't need him, and he has came out and destroyed this team. And honestly, even the plays that weren't sacks, he has forced enough pressure on this quarterback that he's thrown 3 interceptions because of that pressure. So, Derek Barnett, kudos to you, my friend. You are the player of the game.
I'm telling you, if Gruden was around, well, if we respected Gruden, he'd be a Gruden grinder. But
Absolutely.
No
Absolutely. So, it looks like a 3rd and 5 after they do not get the first down. I'll tell you, I mean, looking at it here, Philadelphia defense has nothing to feel bad about. Their offense has let them down this game. Their defense has played lights out. You can't ask for anything else, right?
Nope, not at all. You know what? I'm gonna give out my first. I'm gonna make an award on the spot. Boone's big time player of the game, and that is Derek Barnett. So,
oh yeah, there's no question in my mind. Even with the 2 pick sixes, Derek Barnett has changed the entire course of this game. One has to think, if they would have kept him on the roster, would they have been able to play like this?
No.
I mean, I don't know what he did the first game, but this game he has woken up. Somebody has pissed him off, and he has just completely woken up this game.
If Barnett was on the Eagles, oh my God, he got killed across the middle. If Barnett was on the Eagles, the outcome would be no different, because he would have never traded me Batiste. Batiste had 16 tackles or 16 sacks on the season. It would be no different.
Absolutely. Too little, too late. It's unfortunate for the Eagles, but I'll tell you, this makes everything that much more interesting. In the NFC, we had talked about it before the game. 4 teams are going to sit at 7-4. I mean, and they split the series here. One's got to think. I mean, from here on out, every win is going to be crucial for all 4 of these teams.
Okay. I got a question for you, real quick. Seeing how this game is pretty much over, this puts 3 teams at 7-4 in the NFC East. Who has the tougher division, the NFC East or the AFC South?
Oh, it's the East.
Are you sure?
There's really? There's no question in my mind. I play in this, right? So I play Tampa Bay, I play New Orleans, I play Panthers. Wow, the Panthers actually took me to the limit today. I only won by 10. The East is just a completely dominant animal. You have the Dallas Cowboys coming off a Super Bowl, undefeated Super Bowl. You have Jack, who's probably one of the best users in this entire league. And you got John. He's 7-3.
Okay.
I mean, look at that division. There's nothing that tells me that is absolutely the best division in this entire league.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Now, are you sure about that?
Absolutely.
I mean, who's better, the NFC East or the AFC South? AFC South has 3 teams.
I get where you're going with that. No, listen. I get where you're going with that. Boone, I get where you're going with that. And you guys have a awesome division down there. But did you see what Nick did to the Jags the other night? Did you watch that game?
The Jags
Nick went balls. Now listen, Nick went balls deep on that entire team. He probably could have scored 100 if he wanted to. That was that dominant performance. My issue with the AFC, that division, is it really that dominant? And don't shoot the messenger. Are they just? I don't know. Is the AFC just not that strong? I hate to say it, but look at the NFC.
I'll tell you this. When I tell you the AFC South is for real, we are for real. Coach Yost has a Super Bowl ring under his belt and has been one of the most dominant teams of this Madden cycle. With my favorite team, that hurts me to say. With my favorite team, he has been dominant. That hurts. That's a pain.
I agree. And you play lights out this year. I got to give it to you.
I've dropped games. I've dropped a lot of games I should have never dropped.
I get that. And what really disappoints me, I wasn't able to actually play you last year because I was on vacation. But watching the way you play, your offense, if you could get your defense to match your offense, there's no way you wouldn't have a Super Bowl already. I mean, there's just no way.
Yeah,
however,
soon enough.
But look at this. Look at the NFC East. I mean, again, Josh, who is probably has the best team, best user out of the entire league. Then you have Jack, who is questionably one of the best teams. I mean, look at this dominant performance. He traded to get Slay. A lot of people are like, okay, he gave a lot for this guy. He's a 1-year rental. Jack's going all in this year. Jack wants to win this. I'll be honest, I'm disappointed he's 6-4. He should be 8-1, or 8-2 or something. But this performance tonight shows me Jack is for real. Anybody who plays him in the playoffs, they have their hands full. And then you look at John. Once he gets his offense figured out, this is going to be a great Eagles team. I still think they're going to make the playoffs. I really think the NFC East is going to have three playoff teams in that division. I don't know about your division, but there's a lot of other teams that can make that playoff run. But I'm telling you, I really think that the NFC East is gonna it'll have three teams in the playoffs.
Oh, I absolutely know we'll have 3 teams in the playoffs, because if you take our third best team and you put them in any other division in the AFC, 2 of the 3 other divisions, they're leading the division. We are the best in the AFC. Period. Point
I agree
blank.
with that.
Each team in our division, of the 3 teams that are up there, only 2 of those losses have come to the NFC. Only 2.
I agree.
Of all the losses between us have come in the NFC. We don't lose to the NFC.
Hey, and I play Yost. I play Yost. You played him twice a year. I played him twice. I played him in the Super Bowl. He thumped my ass. Now, granted, I'm not going to. I don't make excuses, but I literally had 9 guys on the injury report at the end of that game. I'm just going to put that out there. Second game was a lot more closer. It was a defensive struggle. But I played Yost. I know how tough he is. I played Dan. I know how tough he is. I won, but Fournette's the real deal. Okay. I didn't play you, but I watch you. I watch you. So I'm not saying that your division isn't tough. I'm saying that if you put comparison, if you put apples to apples, if you put the AFC, and I don't know, have you guys played any of these years? Have you played the NFC East yet?
Let me check for myself real quick. I'm sure I've played them.
But I mean, like, is your division, you know how like divisions play divisions? I just wonder if you guys have played each other, because that division is fucking nasty. I'm sorry, but dude, Jack last year made the play. Like, he was a wild card at like 14-2.
Right, and I'm
you
sure
know what I mean?
Played.
Like,
let me give me a second to find the records here. But I'm sure we've played them. I don't think I did well against Jack. Was it the first game? It couldn't have been. Hold on, we might have never played them. Not.
I don't think you guys have, because I kind of follow along. I know who plays who, but
here we go. Yep, we played them the second year. Yep, the second year. Jack beat the hell out of me. The Cowboys beat the hell out of me. Yeah. Okay. I beat the shit out the Eagles.
Now,
was that last year's Giants?
Because I think there was another owner before John came back.
Yeah, I think so as well. And
I'm not a homer.
I think at the time.
Yeah, I really.
Who was the Giants owner? That dude. He talked.
Oh, it was Chad.
Chad, there you go.
And he made the playoffs. He made the playoffs. But what I guess my point is this: I'm not taking anything away from you guys, because if I look at the AFC, because it used to be AFC West. I mean, he's a badass. I know him and I went kind of toe-to-toe last game. He's a badass, okay? And then you take a look at the old Chiefs owner. He did really well. And then you take a look at the way that the Broncos owner did. But I look at your division now. I mean, we look at, like, right now, your division, I think that it's very possible that you guys have 3 representations in the playoffs. However, I think it's more likely that the NFC East is going to have 3 guys. I'm calling it now. 3 guys in the playoffs. I think Dallas is going to run away with the division, and I think it's going to be Washington 5 and Philadelphia 6. I'm calling it right now.
I can't say I disagree, because I just watched the same game you just watched, and it was outstanding all around play from Jack. We know what he is. We know what he brings. Despite the fact that he seemed to dominate the Eagles today, we know what the Eagles bring to the field every single Sunday, every time we play this game. So I can't say that they're not going to be in the playoff. All I can say right now is if the NFC East ran up against the AFC South, in this current team, AFC South would dominate the NFC East. I just have to believe that. I have to, because I don't see anyone stopping Fournette. Because I'm gonna be honest, I've sold out. Okay,
now, granted, Fournette's great, but did you see the last game that the Jags played? I'm just gonna throw that out there. Have you seen the last game that they played?
Look, if he ever decided to start a real quarterback back there, they might have a chance at being.
I get it, but Nick
Kaiser is hot garbage.
Nick destroyed him, and I love Dan, dude. Dan's one of my favorite owners, but dude, I'm telling you, man, the Lions played the way that like the way that he wanted to draft it, if that makes sense. He drafted that great receiver. He has Josh Jones. He has a great defense. He played the way that he had meant for that team to play. Now, my point is this. Yes, AFC South is great, but how many wins are you guys going to get against Josh? Are you going to get any? Do you think anyone in your division would beat Josh?
You know what? I think if I ran up against Josh again, I'd beat him.
Man, I don't like watching you. I think you're a great user. I don't think you would.
He barely beat me. He barely beat me. Oh my God! I'm telling you right now, if I caught up to him again with my quarterback, David Fowles,
no way, man.
Touchdown. If he caught me again in traffic, it's a wrap. He got off to a hot start with Cole Howard through 2 picks. David Fowles came in and threw 2 touchdowns.
Here's the thing, though. The way that he plays is your weakness because you play aggressive. You're all in. Every play, you're all in. You're like, I'm going all out. I'm going all out. The way that Josh plays, he's methodical, man. He waits for you to make that mistake, and he takes advantage of it. And it's the same way that Washington plays. I'm telling you right now, I know I'm undefeated, but I think Washington and Dallas are the 2 best users in this entire league. I'm not even kidding, man. I watched him play. I watch almost every stream. If I'm available at that time, I watch every stream. Those 2 are badass. And I don't know if you guys get more than 1 win off of both of those guys.
Look, I can tell you this. In any Madden game, any football game, it's all about putting yourself in a position to win. That's the only reason I'm ever where I'm at. If I do well, that's the only reason. I don't dominate people. I've never been that person. I don't think for the most part that Yost does that. But as long as you put yourself in a position to win and some things fall your way, you end up winning games. And that's kind of what happens.
I absolutely agree. However, I watch you play and I know how aggressive you are.
Absolutely.
And while it wins you games, it also loses you games as well.
Sure does. It sure does.
When you play a methodical defense, I'm telling you, Washington and Dallas have 2 extraordinary defenses. You almost have to play perfect to win that game. And I'm telling you, those 2 are just fantastic. Now, I do think, in my opinion, I think Dallas would go 4-0 against your division. I think Washington would go 3-1. I think either you or Yost would beat Washington. I think Philadelphia would go 2-2. And not to shit on the Giants, but I think they could go 0-4. However, I still think that division beats you guys every time.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I'm calling it right now. AFC South, NFC East, Super Bowl. It's coming.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree because I think you guys have a potential of having 3 teams from your division in the playoffs, and I think they as well. So obviously the odds are, with you guys. I can't keep my quarterback healthy, so to me it doesn't matter if I go undefeated. I feel like if I can't keep anyone healthy, I'm fucked in the playoffs. I really feel that way. So while I would hate to say that, I agree with you. I do. I really think that it could come down to your division and the NFC East and the Super Bowl. Because let's face it, you guys are like, in my personal opinion, watching all these streams, it's going to be you or Yost. Now, with that said, don't count out the Ravens. Look at the Ravens. Look at the Ravens. Have you watched Michael play?
Yeah, I played against him recently.
He is
good.
He is
tougher than I thought.
He is spanking people.
Yeah, he was a lot tougher than I thought last time I played him.
That's what I'm saying. So you've got some decent teams in there. And even Doss, man. Doss made the Super Bowl last year. How can you discount that? He's good, man. His running game's good, his passing game's good. But I think you're right, though. I think you have the odds to take, to run the Super Bowl that way. For me, my opinion of you need to play a better defense.
Oh, that's been
simple.
That's been the book on me.
You need
forever,
to play
man.
better defense.
Look, that's been the book on me forever. Why do you think I chose one of the best defenses in the league to start? Because I suck at defense. I
agree.
Suck. I won't sit here and BS and say I'm good. And I suck at defense. It's just I just have to play good enough to hold you down so I can outscore you. That's the goal here. That's why I struggle against Yost, because Yost runs the ball and he manages the clock and he knows all the crap that irritates the hell out of me. So there's just no way around it.
He plays very methodical, and the way that Yost plays is he. And I'll tell you, this is what bothers me. My quarterback has a 98 injury rating. He's faster. He's more athletic than Mariota. You know how many times Mariota has been injured? 0. You know how many times my quarterback has been injured? 3 times. I am salty as fuck about that. I'm not even gonna lie.
Look, Mariota's made of whatever the hell Captain America shield is made out of.
Injury rating has nothing to do. I just don't feel like that rating even exists. But the way that he plays with Mariota, he knows how to utilize his speed. Like against me, he throws in these random quarterback reads, and if you're not expecting that formation to have a read in it, or you're not expecting that, it'll burn you, man. He burned me for some real long runs with that. So Yost is really good, and if I played him 2 times a year, I think I'd finally be able to, okay, he plays this way. I'm going to be able to, go against this. But the problem is I don't play against him the way that you and Nan does. But I guess we've kind of went on with this. However, it's going to be a great season. I'm excited about it. I don't know about you, but I'm excited about it. This was a great game. Regardless of the score, I really think the Eagles had the potential to win this game. I really think that their offense let them down. That the way that I thought it was going to happen. This game to me was exactly the way I expected it to be. I thought that Philadelphia was going to come out and play great defense, but the turnovers were going to kill them. I really thought that, and that's exactly what happened. Their turnovers let them down, and Jack capitalized on it.
Yeah, for sure. Jack did what we expected of Jack. A lot of solid offense. Keith Marshall couldn't really get started, but Blake Triplett really managed to step it up. And that's Triplett with 1 P, as he so adamantly mentioned to me earlier. I definitely think that Josh Doxson is a wash. He's not very impressive to me still. He's not worth $100 million.
Well,
but
no, he didn't impress me either. I mean, not for the – you're exactly right. He didn't
Best receiver on the field today was Jakeem Grant. He weighs, like I said, $130 soaking wet.
Well, I think it was the tight end. I think that tight end really picked up those key first downs, those he got him the yardage he needed. I mean, but regardless, neither one of us picked Dotson as our, key receiver. However – that defense of Washington, as a guy in the NFC, that scares me. When you have 3 cornerbacks that are that good, that scares me, man. I mean, it really does. I mean, plus he's got Derek Barnett with 4 sacks, mind you. So, yeah, you're going to have to play really well against this defense in order to beat them.
I think that's got to get your engine revving. My God, to have that kind of defense. I really got out of bed for that Josh Jones matchup because I was excited to see what all the craze is about. And it turns out he is the real deal. Don't get me wrong, but you really gotta roll out of bed and be excited for those kind of matches, man. Those kind of defenses. Yeah. Redskins are ranked top 10 in points, yards, and rushing yards.
But it wasn't really their offense. It really wasn't. I mean, as much as they, as well as they did, the consistent they were, it was really their defense that stepped up and changed the course of this game. Because if you looked at it, Philadelphia had every opportunity to tie this ball game and go up. And, the 3 interceptions in a row and the last 2 for, they were pick sixes. That really threw them entirely out of the ball game. I mean, in my mind, this defense of Washington, even though it doesn't show on the stat sheet, they are better than their own offense. And that's what's scary about this team.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they definitely put on a show. They showed the XCFL what they're about, you know. That's all you can really ask for when you have one of these primetime games.
No, absolutely. And again, at the end, great game. I know Philadelphia is probably a little bit disappointed that he didn't put up a better game. You know, again, at the end of the day, I really think that he needs to really rely more on that run. It has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers' ability. It really doesn't. It just has a lot to do with just don't pass the ball. Don't throw, you know, take the sack. Don't throw, you know, these stupid boneheaded interceptions. But at the end of the day, Philadelphia played a good game. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what the score, you know, the stat sheet played, especially the defense. They played a great game. But I called it. I think Washington is just that damn good. And I think they're going to make a run. And they made that move for Slay for a reason. And I think that they're going to make a run in the playoffs. And quite frankly, I'm going to say this in public. They scare me more than Dallas does.
Nah.
I'm telling you, man. I just know Jack. I know the way he plays. His defense is solid.
Yeah, he's going to be consistently there, though. That's what you can expect out of him.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But, you know, we've kind of rambled on a lot here. We're going on a pretty long stream here. But, again, final thoughts. What are your thoughts kind of going forward, both of these teams? Where do they go from here? Do you think that Eagles are done? Or, I mean, do you think that they have a shot to make the playoffs?
They got a shot. They proved they weren't, you know, bums. It's just about whether or not that offense shows up for them or not. That's really what you get out of them. So, you know, if the offense shows up, they have no problem. Gordon Todd was not too impressive tonight. He was on primetime television. Let you know a lot about the young man. It goes, he played his game. He did whatever was asked of him, even though a lot wasn't asked of him. He still got the job done. And I mean, that defense for both teams is there. So there's nothing to be, you know, ashamed of from either side on the defensive side. It's really about the offense, because the offense for the Eagles threw 2 touchdowns to the defense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was it 2 or 3? I think it was 3.
No, it was 2. I think it was 2.
I thought it was
he threw 3 interceptions. It was back-to-back pick sixes, but it was back-to-back-to-back interceptions. So,
right. So I mean, look, it's a lot going on, but you know, as a defense concerned, they did their jobs. They didn't even give up the points. The points were given up on the offensive. So both defenses have nothing to be ashamed of.
No, I absolutely agree with that. I kind of to add on to that, I think the Eagles really have to find their identity on offense. I don't really think it comes down to, is it Aaron Rodgers? Is it this? Is it that? I really think you have to find that running game, and that's my personal opinion. I think that you know that you have your defense, you know where they're at. You just have to run a consistent offense without, you know, with all these crazy interceptions and turnovers. However, my opinion is I think the Redskins are going to make a run. I think they're definitely going to make the playoffs, and I think the Eagles will too. I really think that both of these teams are going to make the playoffs. Unfortunately for the Cardinals and the Bucs, I just don't think they're going to be able to do this. And, you know, we'll see, right? We have a long season. We're just over halfway. So it's very exciting, and I'm sure we'll be doing another broadcast together. So with that, do you have any last thoughts before we go?
You know, everybody enjoy your nights. Be ready for the next broadcast whenever we do it. And I think I'm gonna keep doing this whole shot for a touchdown thing. I
know, man. Wasn't that fun? It was fun. I felt like we made the best of a kind of a crappy situation with these streams here. So I felt like we did well, and I felt like we had fun with it. So yeah, we'll have to do this again, man. This is pretty cool. So yeah, I appreciate. Thank you for being on broadcast team with me here, and for, like I said, for Boone, for Brian, we are out of here, and we thank you for watching tonight's broadcast. And if you like what you saw, please subscribe, please like this video, please share it with other people, and we are out of here.